What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. As highly requested, a couple people did ask for me to do a tutorial on VHL. Although there is so much content on this already, I'm just going to do my own version. I hope you guys enjoy the vid. Guys, before I continue, pause the video now, like and subscribe, or else I will not make any more content. And again guys, it is late at night, so I do have to be a little bit quiet, but because I love the game and I love you guys, I'm going to make this tutorial for you. Just so you guys know, this is my own version and own build of VHL, so if you guys see anything different, then don't roast me in the comments. This is just how I've been using VHL. VHL can essentially do almost anything in the game. You can solo, you can use it as a tank, you can use it to farm. It's got insane DPS, insane HOT, good DOT. So what I'm not going to do is read every single class because you guys can do that. It's got so many percentages, it's got so many things included in each one, and I'm not going to spend the next 10 minutes explaining each skill individually. The main important things that you want to understand about this class is that it can be used in both ways, a defensive mode and an offensive mode. And I will explain that later in the video. But firstly, let's move on to the enhancements that I use. So I use Valiance on the class. When Valiance actually applies, it gives you more strength, dexterity, intellect, wisdom and endurance, the whole lot, by 30%, and also increases your luck by 10% for 20 seconds. Valiance does have a 20-second cooldown, however, there is a 100% chance of it to activate whenever you hit the auto attack, so essentially it is always applied. With the class I use Luck. So for the helmet I use Anima, as it grants you loads of strength in exchange for endurance, so you will have a little bit of health than usual, and Anima also grants you a higher chance of hitting the target. And for the cape I use Vainglory because it increases your damage by 50%, but it does decrease your healing intake by 50%. However, with the HOT that this class produces, this isn't really a problem. So that is my build. I'm going to be honest, sometimes I do switch the weapon to Smite instead, as Smite gives you an extra 450% hybrid damage, and with the helmet I sometimes use Vim, as it grants you a lot of dexterity and luck, but with the same as Anima, it does take away a little bit of endurance. I'm going to be honest guys, I don't get too technical with the forge. Sometimes I just mix and match and I just see which one works, and with VHL, regardless of what your build is, you're going to be splashing a lot of damage anyway. Honestly, you can use this class for luck and you'll be completely fine. So with the offensive mode, you want to be using this mode with monsters that are relatively high in HP, like the Doom Overlord. So he's basically got 700k health and he doesn't hit too heavy, so you don't really have to be worrying about your health going too low. So the way you want to do this, I'll put it on the screen now. So you want to be hitting 4, 5, 3, 2 and then cycle 4, 3, 2 until your 5 cooldown has finished, and then you just repeat that cycle and you'll be able to scale your damage as high as possible. So it might look a little bit complicated at first, but you really do get the hang of it. This class is super easy to use. So we go 4, 5, 3, 2 and then 4, 3, 2, and we literally just keep spamming 4, 3, 2 until the 5 is back. So we go 4, 5 again, and then 3, 2 and then 4, 3, 2, and that is literally it guys. Now with the defensive mode on this, now depending on how heavy the monster hits, you want to be really careful of using your 4, and the reason for this is because it uses up 20% of your maximum health, and you also want to consider that your 2 skill also uses 20% of your maximum health. So in total you'll be losing almost 50% of your health. So when you're going defensive, you only want to be using your second shackle instead of your 4th, because the second one does increase your HOT. So the defensive mode is a little bit more complicated. You want to start off with 3, 2, 5, and depending on how heavy the monster hits, you want to stick with that. So 3, 2, 5 and then cycle 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 5. However, if the monster hits quite heavy but not enough to really kill you fully, then you can sneak in a 4 there, another 4 and 5 combo. But if you want to be super safe, just stick with 2, 3 and 5. To be completely frank with you guys, the amount of VHL tutorials that are out there, how to use the class, all the enhancements, you can listen to all these videos, but at the end of the day, Just choose the enhancements that work for you and find the combo that also works for you. You can use the ones that I've stated already, the offensive and defensive mode. And also I know that some people do use it a little bit different. Sometimes they will do a 3, 2, 5 and then go back onto 3 and then 4, back onto 3 and then 2. So yeah, there are so many ways to use this class. This class is massively versatile. It is great with a range of enhancements, and really there's not much explaining that I really need to do with this class, but however it was requested quite a bit, that's why I did include it in this video. So we all know that this class hits super heavy and is super tanky depending on the enhancements that you've got obviously, and it is completely insane for melting high HP bosses regardless if they hit heavy or not. Even if you have a monster that does have 1 million or 2 million health, VHL can do the job. I want to talk about the pots that I use with this. So I like to use Pots of Destruction, which increases your critical strike, Vicious Filtry, which increases your luck by 50%, and sometimes I like to use the Honor Potion because it increases all damage by 75%. However, this only lasts for 35 seconds, so that's why I do prefer Vicious Filtry instead. Now, as we all know, this class is a single target class, insane for soloing monsters and also insane in group battles. However, can it farm? Quick answer, yes, it is insane. Although it is single target, the amount of DPS this class produces, for most regular farms, you are literally going to be one-tapping every single monster in a room, and in some instances that is faster than using Archmage or LR. I'll give you guys an example. Literally just going to be speedrunning Arkham Grove. You can see every single monster here. I'm just going to tap one hit at a time. You'll notice, guys, that I'm not using any pots just so that I can show you guys the raw damage that this class can actually do. If you guys have to farm in a room and the monsters are under 10k health, then I suggest using your main farming class. However, if your monsters are quite heavy, for example in this world, in World's Core, where the monsters are 35k HP here, I think these are 55 here, and you need to heal quite a lot of them, I would suggest using VHL. You'll notice it'll be a lot quicker to target just one monster, completely obliterating him as fast as you can and moving on to the next one, and so on and so on. Although LR is multi-target, the overall DPS on VHL is higher than LR, so it will be faster to target each one individually and melt them. And of course that is only relevant to situations where the monsters are quite high in HP. Now I'm going to show you guys a little technique with VHL. Now this class is quite well known for this annoying trait where your 2 and 4 are short range attacks. So if I'm too far from the monster here and I tap my 2 and 4, which I'm spamming right now, it won't target onto the class. So I am essentially forced to use either my 3 skill or my 5 skill, which is both infinite range. And if these are on cooldown, then I'll have to physically move my mouse and double click on the monster, which we are all used to anyway. However, I'll show you guys a little trick. So if you go into your settings, type in keybinds, and you want to scroll down to target random monster and put it to any key that you desire. Make sure it is an easy key that is close to your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 button. Now if you are quite lazy like me and you don't want to be holding your mouse all the time, and although I am quite far, my 2 and 4 still won't work, and you can see my cursor here, I'm going to leave it at the top right. If I press E, you can see here it will target to a random monster in the room, and all I have to do is press 1 and then it will bring me to that monster and I can continue my combination as per usual. Once that's done, I press E again and then I press 1 and it will bring me to that monster. So if you guys don't want to hold onto your mouse, make sure that keybind is on, and it makes things just that little bit more convenient and makes the class a little bit more easier to use as well. So yeah, I don't know how many of you guys know that or if that is well known already, but if you don't know, then yeah, that is a little tip that you can use, not even for VHL, but for any single target class where you don't always want to be double clicking on the monster. You can just use your keys on your keyboard completely. Little update on the house, guys. I do have the Legion Castle. I realized that I had so much random stuff in my house inventory, so I've got this dragon, and honestly guys, please do not ask me where I've got these items from because I will have no idea. I just found them in my inventory and I thought they look cool and I just put them in my house. So I've got this wolf thing, this dragon thing. If we go inside, loads of different statues, got these portals from somewhere, and the cool thing about this house is that it's got armor customization, which is wicked. If we go upstairs, this is just sort of a Legion party. I don't even know what's going on here. And then if we go to the left, We've got a few things added here. These faces, no idea where I got those from as well. Cycerio Hammer, this guy, Sepulture. And then moving on to the right is probably the most random room. I just sort of dumped all my extra stuff in here, and yeah. If I ever log on ready for a video and I go to my house and some of you guys are AFK here or just want to give me a visit, then I will shout you guys out in the next video. Quick shout out guys to this guy called Toy. Check out his character page and just see what he's up to. Stalk him. I'm joking guys, do not stalk this guy please. But yeah, it was actually the first interaction that I had with another AQ player who actually watched my videos. He told me nice videos by the way, and I was actually kind of shocked. But Toy, if you are watching this, thank you for supporting the channel, and thank you to everyone else who is watching this video for supporting the channel. So this part of the video guys, I wanted to talk about some things that Artix Entertainment could change to the game. Small changes but could make a huge impact. So one that I've mentioned in the previous video is adding on another potion slot, because for me who likes to rotate around loads of classes and likes to rotate around a lot of parts, it is quite annoying just having one section, and the fact that they allow us to have more parts at once, it would make sense to include another separate section here for an additional part, or even 2 more would be even better. At the same time, they should make a separate tab here where it's just parts, because the thing is, it's so annoying where I'm getting ready for an ultra, everyone's ready, and I'm scrolling through my list figuring out which parts that I want to use. So yeah, just those small additional changes could make a huge difference. Next filter that I feel like they should add is male/female filters on our cosmetics. So for example, if I go to my bank, I like how they've added all these filters. However, if they just added 1 more slot here or 2 more where it says male or female, and then it will allow me to choose whether I want to wear a male or female armor. And the thing is with this game guys, some female armors do just look better than the males and vice versa, hence why I like to rotate between armors from time to time. So that filter will be super helpful in allowing me to navigate through my cosmetics. And one thing I also don't understand is that these filters here should also be applied in our inventory, because for example, if I just want to sort of flex and only wear rare items, then I should be able to click on that filter, apply it, and it should only show my rare items. And same thing, if I just want to see all my AC items or all my gold items, then I should be able to filter it. So I'm not sure why that is only in the bank. Of course, we bank so many things, but it would be super helpful to have it in the inventory as well, especially for people who have literally 450 backpack space or whatever the max is. And also a small thing that I sort of picked out of the blue is when you go to the game menu and you click on adventures, I feel like once you finished one of these adventures or saga, whatever you call it, then I feel like there should be some sort of indication that you've finished the adventure. Because the thing is, when I was doing all of these and I had to stop, I kept on forgetting where I was. So I'd click on here and I would notice that this was already completed, and I thought I'd be on this one, so I would click on here and then this was actually all completed. So I'd end up just scrolling through it, and then I'd end up having to click on each one to see where I was up to. So it would be nice just to have a small indication that we have finished these, even if it's just a change of color in the background, and it does sort of give that satisfaction knowing that you have completed all of these, and it also gives a clear indication of which one you are at and how much you have left to do. Hopefully I have cleared a few things with VHL, and if you guys were specifically asking a VHL tutorial or a bit more information on the tutorial because you were wondering if you needed to get it or not, guys, at the end of the day, regardless of how many classes you've got, VHL is going to be one of your main classes that you are going to be using. Personally, with my knowledge of all the classes in the game right now, VHL is going to be one of your commonly used classes. So even if you guys have got hundreds of classes, just get VHL, it's worth it. You're going to be enjoying the big numbers, you're going to be enjoying tanking and melting huge high HP mobs. Honestly, it is a fun class to use with supports as well. Your DPS goes through the roof. You are in a group battle and you've got supports with you and you're using multiple pots. you're going to be hitting numbers over 100k plus back to back to back. There honestly isn't a class like VHL. It is quite unique and super fun to use. To be quite frank, if you guys haven't got it already, stop being lazy and start farming it. If you guys are also awake at 3 AM and you are watching this video, this is your sign to sleep. Guys, you can't be slacking tomorrow when you're farming for VHL. If you guys want to join Yodi Land, feel free, let me know. And on that note, Fulcrum, come in, yup, Yodi gang, you feel? See you guys in the next video.